and they, like I said, they were like, we're going to be very historically accurate, blah 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 blah. So with that, the film itself was not entertaining. I liked it, but it was just it was a little too slow, and the entire film seemed dark. Like physically, it was just dark to see things. I guess the period of the time, it was just a very horrible time in English and French history. But the main problem I had with the film was literally the ending, and it's about the Battle of Agincourt. What do you know of the Battle of Agincourt? What's the famous thing that happened?
Or well, I'd say the most famous thing is the English are
Most
massively
significant.
right. Well, the English are
Yeah.
massively outnumbered. They're retreating, in fact,
Yes.
and the French have get to the battlefield with their with the what's the expression, cream of the crop, the best aristocratic knights, nobility on horseback, and they charge at the English across the muddy field, and the English pour long use their longbows, pour longbow fire
Yes.
arrows into the to the point where the sky turns black with these arrows, and the knights are massacred. And of course, if their horses are cut down, then they can't get up out of the mud, and then so it's a complete chaotic mess of a battle in which the plucky English kill off. And in fact, it was to have a big impact even on French society, in fact, because so many of these noble aristocratic knights died. So it's going to leave
Yes.
a legacy for decades after. But well, that's what I know. But anyway, and then of course Henry the Fifth, becomes a Shakespeare's Shakespearean play.
Yeah. Basically, you summed it up pretty well. Basically, the French creme de la creme, the royal nobles of France at that time, basically were completely wiped out, and it pushed back French like development, I guess, for decades. And the most famous part, like you said, was the French cavalry get stuck in the mud because they were it rained the day before, and they got stuck in the mud, and they were wearing heavy what's it called, heavy armor as that's knights do, and I believe the French knights specifically wore even heavier armor because like more grand and more. But anyway, they got killed by the English longbowmen. Um, Funny thing, like I saw a video once about this over 10, 15 years ago, where historians didn't know how Agincourt won,
Oh, okay.
and then they showed, or maybe the video was saying they didn't know, but they actually showed how. But anyway, they were saying that with recent uh, building of you know mock tests and using technology, they said we deduced that basically they were extremely wiped out by the mud only,
Mm.
and they were completely weighed down. And at certain points, soldiers would just French knights would just be on the floor stuck, and English would just come and just stab them to
Right,
death,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, Now, the main part that before you summed up Agincourt, the main part with my issue with the film was probably the penultimate part of the film. So in the film, there is Robert Pattinson. He portrays the dolphin. That's pronounced dolphin. The which is the son of the French king. And people would disagree with me. I thought it was terrible acting. Anyway, that's just me. He's just doing a typical French accent, and I was like, okay. Anyway, um, but in the main part of the film, as the knights charge into battle and they're getting wiped out because of the longbowmen, the mud, Robert Pattinson's character decides to charge into battle. Okay, and he talks this big stuff like, "Oh, I'm this like great French prince. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna whoop your ass," type of thing, right? And he goes into battle, and then he basically slips. Like he goes into battle, and it was like again Hollywood. The English knights, the French knights just like let him through. Okay, he walks up, tries to fight. I believe Henry V, right? Timothy's character, and he's about to fight, and he just slips. And I was like, okay, like what? And then as he slips, English soldiers or knights, they just come and stab him to death. And I'm like, what? I'm watching this and I'm like, what? And then and then it shows like, okay, I killed your son, and they go to the French king, and the French king was like, all right, okay, I'll stop fighting, I'll sign a peace or something like that. So, okay, I'll say this. I got so annoyed by that point, I kind of forgot the rest of the film. But something to the French king and like a letter, your son's dead. The king's like, oh my god, okay, I gotta make peace with the English. So after this, because the whole time I'm thinking of Agincourt. Oh, it's known for the death of the French nobility. I'm like, damn, yeah, okay. And I saw that, and this happens. I literally had to like check it and make sure I wasn't confused. The Dauphin wasn't even at the battle. Like, okay, like I get it. Roman killing Commodus, like okay, that's 2,000 years ago. The Dauphin wasn't even at the battle. I looked this up yesterday just to be in preparation. The Dauphin died weeks later of like a disease or something. Like, just show Henry V dominating the English nobility, or create a nobility character that is portrayed by Robert Pattinson.
I don't know why,
like,
but I just